That's hot.
What are you doing?
Rip it off. Like,
It's good.
like I got a cherry lip. I mean strawberry. Got strawberry lips.
Organic, you know.
Organic lip stain. I got.
You know. Yes. You know.
Hi everyone. So I want to show you something I made. So I made this a couple of days ago and I have been loving it. It's basically like just like a traveler's notebook, a Paper Republic style bifold, and I added a turbine shell, a labradorite pendant, a pearl, and like this shell. So I made this. I've been loving her so much. And I'll show you what's inside because this is just basically my new journal. And so when you open her up, here you have, this is just like my regular diary that I use. And I have my ESIP pouch that I basically keep all my precious things that I've collected over the years in here, such as postcards, photo strips. This is the senseware journal that I kind of do all my planning for. And here is just the content side, like basically YouTube, TikTok, everything that I want to talk about. Part of my senseware journal is also kind of what I do when I launch a new collection, which we are both in now. I'll also be chronicling how I do collections. Basically, I start off first with a skeleton. So a skeleton is basically the philosophy. Here's where I really pour in my thoughts, emotions, sensory, and self. And that is what is kind of like the foundation before I can structure the flesh. So what we saw last year, which I didn't really do that well, but I did well on it for, you know, Instagram and for senseware purposes, was I really love the way that I set up the skeleton. The entire collection was about a year and 8 months long, and I'm not gonna explain it because I'm too tired. Like, that's all I did for a year, and for that entire duration was basically try to make my collection stand on its own. And it was basically philosophy in motion, because the motion part was the fact that I was able to make it into a light. And now I'm basically doing it all again. I think for this year, or for this phase, this is phase 5, by the way. I don't even know where I'm going with it. There is what is heavy on my mind, like things that I am very much attracted to, which is more in the metaphysics side. So a lot of, here we go. Like, you know what? I'm gonna take her out. Oopsie. I'm gonna have to read this book again. I have to read this book again because I feel like it's about time that I give it a go again. Last time I read it was I was in Paris, and I think I stopped around page 10 because I was like, this is too much, too soon. My brain is not developed for this. But this is not the first Aristotle book that I have ever read. But usually what I do is I love to have some type of structure when it comes to my philosophical endeavors. By the way, I'm a designer, I'm a furniture designer, but I love tackling the more sensory, philosophical, metaphysical side of design and integrating it with the flesh, the product. So I would say that I was very successful in this year's collection, but we're now moving on to the next phase. We're at the very beginning, guys. Like, these are seeds. So I have no clue what I'm doing. Like, I really I was also collecting a lot of the physical things that I kept over the period. So I'll also show it to you guys. These are for the past 4 years. No, how long has senseware been? 2022. So these are all the physical prints that I've collected through events, through magazines that I was featured in. But starting off first with, these are my first 2 catalogs that I brought to Paris. This is the first one, back in 2022. This is what I brought to Paris. It was my first ever collection alongside Selena Placino. We showcased together the Shadow of Shell, using Capice, Mother of Pearl. We were like, hey, let's give it a go. Let's go to Paris and showcase our work. We were basically using up our savings and just kind of going for it and just saying, you know what, well, at least we gave it a go. And look, we're still here. We're still producing stuff. So yes, this is what we showcased on our first ever exhibit. And it was wild to see. It was just wild to see how much has changed over the 3 years of business. Like, this is Selena slide that is just one of our most popular bestsellers. And yeah, these are all Selena's works. And yeah, this is like I believe the first time I took photos for a catalog, and it was the first time I ever actually did a catalog from start to finish. Like, I took this on my iPhone, right? I edited this on Canva because I was not going to pay like $1,000. So this is our 2022 collection. This is our 2023 collection. And so here these were all, I borrowed my friend's camera. He's also a member of Senseware. And what we did was, this is the first time I ever worked with like actual, is it a DSLR? And these were the photos that we took. That's Selena, and basically I never did like this time-lapse look, but we took this photo start of 2023 or something like that, and it became like such a potent piece of work. These are all our photos, you know, like I was so proud with like, look at that shot. Man, like, Selena did this shot, but basically Justin, he's our 3rd member, he was kind of like, girl, just put this setting and you'll be good to go. And we're like, okay. Look at those shots. Look, like, you know, we obviously changed over time, but these are like seeds, guys. These are seeds. Look at that. I'm so proud. Look at those shots that we did. Like, we had no knowledge other than like taking a shot on like your iPhone and doing all of these things. Like, we were so courageous. Like, imagine just bringing this and being like, yeah, no, like, we're good. We are the shits. You know. I took this on an iPhone. And yeah, these are all iPhone shots. Yeah, that's an iPhone shot. This is just wild. Yeah, this is the collection as well, of the continuation of, here, these are also, this is part of 2.0, so all of these were shot on the iPhone because I couldn't borrow my friend's camera. Again, these are all on the iPhone. iPhone shots. And like stuff like that. Yeah. You know, I think the concept that I had in my mind at this time was make it exist, then make it good. That was like the concept I had when it came to senseware during these phases. Even till now, you know, make it exist, then make it good. Now for the Balai Kobu, I think I showed you the equilibrium totem. This was the flyer that I gave everyone. And here you can see my product that I also shot on an iPhone. At the time I did not have my Lumix yet. I bought my camera maybe a couple of months after. And it was special because basically I finally had a big project. Like I had three big projects, and I was always saving up money for a camera, but it was just not the right time to do so. And I was also just kind of thinking maybe I could bank off borrowing from a friend, or maybe I could also just, you know, see how far I could go with my phone. But eventually you reach a limitation, and so at that point I was just kind of like, you know what, girl, you got paid for a project, the Deuces project, the UFO looking light. And I said to myself, just go buy a camera. And so I went and basically got the camera that Damon Dominique has, because he was my favorite YouTuber, and I was also dabbling into YouTube. So yeah, like that was just how I started. But this was the Equilibrium totem. There was professional shots taken, so I didn't also really have the need to do it, you know, buy a nice camera until I started doing YouTube. And here you can see senseware, like I was mentioned there. This was I think this year was really my kind of me putting myself in the spotlight. I wanted to showcase my design, and yeah. This magazine is a collaboration with the Schmid siblings. So here I manufactured for them. This was the Capice Cloud that Rhea Schmid designed, and we were on a magazine, Blueprint. And this is my first ever physical print. We had one with Noli Soli, but that was just a digital article. But I will show you the layout. So it starts off as love and legacy. So they're a brother-sister duo, and basically they designed a house, the retirement house of their parents, and I did the main dining hall light, and it was just a special. They were my first ever clients, and they became just like one of the most pivotal people in my life. You know, they have, like, I mean, other than being my first client and paying me, they also were just like, because they're around my age, they were able to kind of, I don't know, like we were all going through something, and, or specifically for me, I was going through a lot more. You know, I was brewing the confidence, and I was brewing the template of rhythm of whatever. And these two siblings were the people that witnessed me, kind of. And I don't know, but I was always just so open with them. Like, I was able to tell them anything and everything without any, like, hesitation. And I think having witnesses like that in your creative journey, it's just so, like, something I'm so grateful for. Like, a lot of my clients became my friends, and you know, that's something I'm just so, I think, privileged to have, is people that grow alongside you. This is my, well, how do I explain this? This was my most recent exhibit abroad. It was in Singapore for Emerge, Dialogue Through Design. And this was in collaboration with Super Mama, which is a museum store, and Design Anthology. So the founder of both those name companies, they kind of became the curatorial team. And so they were picking designers from Southeast Asia or Asia whole. And here is what it looks like. This was written by someone from, I believe, Monocle, but I could be wrong, I can't remember. But that is the layout. I love the way it looks. Here are the other 76 designers and all our works. And my work is here. I will show you my work right now. But yeah, guys, like, this is one of the most surreal things. That's me. That's my work. It's a love supreme. And I showed you the photos of it, but this is something I'm so immensely proud about. And for the actual, I want to also show you the cards that I have. So this is for that image. This was the Singapore. This was like my lanyard that I kept. And here is my, when I collaborated with Design Center Philippines for their institutional booth. This is just like mementos that I keep of the show. So yeah, that is all that I have. And I'll just be kind of, yeah, that's all that I have. And I'll just be taking you guys around with me for the week. Yeah. Okay, so I just finished working out. I did a Pilates with Izzy workout, and this is so this is the second week that I've been doing it, so this is day 8, and it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, my ass is always getting kicked. I'm not always finishing it. Like, do you trust me to actually be keeping that position or standing up or doing the squat? No, I take a lot of breaks. I love how minimal it is. Like, I just have this, sometimes a block. I don't even have the ankle weights. I just kind of just, you know, I'm not complete. I don't have the ankle weights. There's no way I could do it with the ankle weights though. Doubt it. But yeah, so I finished that workout, and I will probably, the rest of the day, I probably will have some structured reading. So I did mention that I will be reading Aristotle again. This is more for educational purposes. Like, for me, I have to digest this, figure out whatever the essence is, then pour it into the first phase of my new collection, because there's something that I want from it. Like, I'm reaching towards it, trying to understand something, but then eventually I would reach a point where it's like, okay, I've understood enough, let me experience it in reality, or let it kind of manifest, right? So it will then manifest in an experience, or whether it be falling in love. And the thing is that the moment that happens, I am all on. Like, there is no way that I will say no. Like, I will probably just experience it at the depth that it needs to be. Whether or not it works out, I will be the one to see it to the very end, because it's kind of like, yes, like, you know, let's give it a go. What reason do I need to stop? Yeah, so that's what we're doing in the first phase. I have no clue what we're doing, where it's going, but yes, that is something that we're working on alongside with. I'll probably also notate it, create some notes for it, and then I'll show you how I do it on my journal or on a document online. I just kept on going without really thinking until the end came, and then I was like, oh my god, look at how much work I did. Or oh my god, like, oh, like, that's what I called upon, that's exactly what I got. And the thing is, it never shows until you finish it, like until completion. There's a difference between something ending and you completing it. That's something I've learned. Sometimes when things end, yes, there's still ache involved, but the moment you translate it to the very end, and you complete the cycle of whatever it is, that's when you know that you've learned your lesson, or you basically completed that cycle. So that's why I can safely say that I'm on phase 5 now. And I'm so excited.